In this video, I'll be opening a box of Cloud City from the Decipher Star Wars CCG. This was the third of the Empire Strikes Back sets, the first one being Hoth, second one being Dagobah. This one came out in 1997, and it was the first set to feature Boba Fett, as you might guess from the picture of him here on the top of the box. It also had his blaster rifle, Slave One, his ship, and Mandalorian armor. So a device that I actually think isn't able to deploy on him, but it's a pretty powerful device that you can put on other aliens. There's also a Han and a Leia in this set. The Han was fairly popular, being a very good pilot for the Millennium Falcon. And there was also two Landos in this set, so a dark side and a light side Lando. That was pretty cool how they had a dark side and a light side version of the same character. Most of the rares in this set, however, were interrupts, so when we open a pack or two, there's a very good chance we'll get an interrupt or maybe an effect. And anytime you open a pack from Cloud City and get something other than that, it's usually one of the more interesting cards in this set. It's got the Decipher shrink wrap on it, which is a good sign that it hasn't been repackaged. There's been concerns about those lately for the later sets. So, if your Premier box has no Decipher emblem on the packaging, that's okay. Maybe New Hope as well. But after that, yeah, if there's no Decipher logo, then it might be somebody repackaged it, which is always a little bit suspicious. So just something to look out for. Not that I've ever come across that myself. There's just, especially with prices going up for sealed product and Star Wars cards in general, that's just something to look out for. So we'll get it out of the wrapping here. Box is squished a little bit at the top, so the box isn't in great condition, but that rarely has anything to do with the packs inside unless it's really egregious. Okay, so we'll start out with our rules supplement, and that's in quite good shape. Yeah, maybe a little bit of wrinkling at the top, but yeah, considering how bad the box looked on the outside, that's still pretty good. I'll set this off to the side while we look at the rules supplement, and then maybe pull a pack or two out. So this would have a lot of the newer rules and any glossary type additions you would want to make to the rule set. So a lot of useful stuff for players to see in terms of special rules for where sites deploy. And this is quite a long one, actually. So all sorts of new things like sabacc, so kind of like playing the Star Wars version of poker in the middle of the card game. And some things about capturing, like capturing people and escorting them. That was more of a revision. And the back is probably just going to be the card list, so I'll flip that over. But this one is quite a long sheet of paper, so it's a bit unwieldy. But we'll see lots of things in here in terms of the card list goes in alphabetic order overall. But key cards that we might get would be Bright Hope, Captain Han Solo. There's a Leia in here too. Boba Fett, of course, on the other side. So quite a bit on this here. And also we have the old-fashioned way of getting into contact with Decipher. So I think they're still around, but they don't do too much anymore. They might make some, I think party games was the last thing I saw. But we'll set the rules supplement off to the side. I do occasionally sell these in my eBay store, but I don't get them very often because I don't open a whole ton of boxes. But I'll carefully fold this up. There we go. That was kind of folded up, but now we're back to normal. Alright, got a little bit of dust here, but we'll take out at least one pack and see if we can get a notable card in it. So 180 cards, and these are 9-card packs. The nice thing about these is that the rare is always the last card, at least as far as I have ever opened them. So that's a good way to build up anticipation for the rare card. going a bit smoother than it usually goes when I open the packs. Okay, let's see if I can get these out carefully. Nice. So this was a cool card to allow your trooper to fire a weapon in your control phase, kind of like a sniper type action, but it's only with a trooper. The nice thing about this one is that it's used. The Dark Side Docking Bay. This card was interesting. It's not only is it a useful card, but some versions of it on the print sheet, they ended up cutting off the word free and the punctuation on the end there. So for whatever reason, some of the versions ended with 4 instead of for free. It's a minor misprint that some people take note of. They might put both versions in a set in their binders, but it's not like the error version is a money card like they sometimes have in baseball cards. So these guys give you some extra activation. And with all the new capturing and escorting type stuff, this was an interesting card to include in your deck. Okay, there's a very nice uncommon. You Are Beaten, being able to exclude a character from battle until the end of the dark side player's next turn. So that's a very nice card. Got another sight, the light side carbonite chamber. And then our rare is a red card as expected. It is Advantage. So a cool idea. I don't know if I've ever quite used this in a deck, but it is a nice way to make the opponent lose force after your player wins a battle. There's a similar card, Legendary Starfighter, came out in Special Edition. That one I get a lot more use out of. But yeah, right here is our rare. I'll probably open one more pack. It's a good chance it's going to be a red card too, but you never know. Whoops, got caught a little bit there. Open it up more. Starting out with a nice one. This has since been virtualized to get an extra icon there, so allowing the dark side to start with more force. Binders allows you to carry more than one captive. It was always hard for me to get captives in the first place, but it's a Destiny 6 card, allows you to carry to escort more than one. I thought this was always a cool mechanic where you can sort around the different piles and basically choose which cards you want where, so that can be pretty powerful. And this guy, the opponent can spend 2 force to make sure he doesn't participate in a battle. Another cool mechanic. Weather Vane. So there's a lot of interesting stuff in this set. Basically, if there's all sorts of cards that could send somebody to a Weather Vane. That's the thing that Luke hung off of on the bottom of Cloud City in Empire Strikes Back. Oh, and I kind of spoiled our rare a little bit. It's a purple card. There's only one that could be. And that's Epic Duel. So, that's a cool card to get. And it looks like it was miscut a little bit. That's kind of interesting. They didn't quite bevel the corner all the way. So I've had a few cards like this before. But yeah, the bottom of it is... Yeah, that's not... it's not like the pack was dented. There's just extra paper on there that shouldn't be on there. So kind of an interesting misprint at some, or maybe not a misprint, but a miscut. Well, in any case, that's a good card to get in a pack here. Anything that's not a red card is usually of note in Cloud City. Thanks for watching this video on the Cloud City booster box, and I hope to see you for my next video coming up soon. Thanks again.